Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Sophie Erber. Election day now just 13 days away, and that means, of course, a choice for Iowa's 4th District congressional seat. As you saw just before this program, a debate between both Republican Randy Feenstra and Democrat J.D. Scholten on stage in Des Moines this afternoon, and it's our top story for you right now at 5. So for some history, Feenstra defeated controversial incumbent Steve King during the June primary race. Scholten challenging King in 2018, but lost then by about 3% of the vote. Today, the candidates covering topics ranging from their own character to COVID-19. Our very own Tim Seaman is a moderator for today's debate, and here's what the candidates had to say about the source of funding for their campaigns.
Our campaign is about people. I don't take money from corporate PACs. I turned down the DCCC because my focus is on the people of the 4th District.
My money is local, it's grassroots. Unlike J.D. Scholten's, whose liberal money, millions and millions of dollars, have come from San Francisco and New York.
If you'd like, you could re-watch the full debate. It's on our website right now. That's at SiouxlandProud.com. The address there on your screen. Polling locations in Sioux City are different this year because of COVID-19 precautions. But now there's a new resource available for Woodbury County voters who need a little help casting their ballot. The app is called Where You Vote Iowa with the letter U, Woodbury County. A handful of other Iowa counties have separate apps. The goal, of course, to help voters find when and where to cast their ballots, as well as providing a little bit of information for early voting and sample ballots, again, all through the app.
Encouraging people to use that app to look at their sample ballots so that they're well aware, they're educated to what they're going to be voted on once they get to the polling place, and that they can use their time in the polling place efficiently to mark their ballot, cast their vote, and leave the polling place.
The Where You Vote app is compatible for both Apple and Android devices. You can find a link to the app and other voter resources on our website right now. Again, that address SiouxlandProud.com. A military-style truck with Trump 2020 signs and flags on it raising some eyebrows tonight with election officials in Monona County. That truck parked right in front of the courthouse this morning. The courthouse is a polling location for early voting in the November 3rd election. The people who own this truck say they have the right to park it there. Peggy Rolfe, Monona County Auditor, disagrees.
To me, I feel it's unfair regardless of whose political sign it is. It shouldn't be there. It's illegal. I've got a lot of voters that are upset that it's outside my courthouse, but I'm doing the best that I can to try to get the situation rectified as soon as possible.
And we asked the Monona County attorney about this incident. He says he is looking into it.
We are currently researching the law and working toward an appropriate solution. Until we reach any certain conclusions about the legal rights and responsibilities of the parties involved, I believe it would be inappropriate for me to comment on what action may or may not be taken.
Turning now to coronavirus news. In the year 2020, Americans finding themselves having to take a trip to the doctors when they need a quick test for COVID-19. According to a study by JAMA Internal Medicine, 25% of Americans do not have a primary care physician. The study also finding that many young adults don't have a doctor. Mercy One nurse practitioner Lexi Chickeny says that having a primary doctor makes getting tested for COVID-19 that much easier.
Extremely important to have a primary care provider and a provider that knows you, knows your history, to ensure that you have the highest level and quality of care that you deserve.
Doctors say patients are typically tested the same day they call about their possible exposure to COVID-19. Taking a look now at the latest COVID-19 numbers here in Siouxland today. Woodbury County health officials reporting 3 additional virus-related deaths. This as 29 new cases have been confirmed in the last 24 hours. The county totals more than 6,800 cases. In Nebraska, Dakota County tallies 5 new positive cases today. The county slowly adding to its total of more than 2,500 cases. And in South Dakota, Lincoln County's totals more than 2,300 cases. More than 600 of those are considered active this evening. Some Siouxland oral surgeons are helping students pay for college in a way you don't hear about every day. KCAU 9 News reporter Lydia Vasquez explains how the program works and what these students have to do to participate.
The bottom line is we've got these wisdom teeth here. They're going to have to come out. It's called the Wisdom for Wisdom program, and it's being offered by Siouxland Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Under the program, high school students who haven't had their wisdom teeth pulled are asked to write an essay. If their essay is chosen, the students receive the extraction for free and are awarded a $500 college scholarship.
Wisdom for Wisdom, we basically came up with as a way to help a lot of our younger patients who are applying to college, give them a scholarship fee, basically, kind of make the wisdom tooth extraction process a little more fun.
Dr. Louis George is an oral and maxillofacial surgeon. He says the goal is to alleviate some of the financial burden that comes with applying to and attending college. Noah Gilbertson is a senior at Vermilion High School. He's one of 5 recipients chosen for the Wisdom to Wisdom program.
I'm going to be getting a job to help pay for college, but having this just really helps me feel safe and secure with my money and not having to get more loans and whatnot. With this money, I mean, it just really helps me focus more on my studies.
Gilbertson wants to pursue a degree in sports science and plans to use a scholarship to help pay for books.
It's an exciting time because, unfortunately, school prices and book prices are only going up. And then you add this whole pandemic on top of it, and it just makes things a lot more stressful for people, perhaps, than it needs to be. So anything we can do to take the load off people's shoulders.
In Yankton, Lydia Vasquez, KCAU 9 News.
And it's time tonight for our first check on the weather. Meteorologist Marcus Beasley standing by. Marcus, today a lot more pleasant than it has been lately. We didn't have that mist that we had yesterday.
That's right, Sophie. Temperatures a little bit warmer today and also dry conditions throughout Siouxland. Even though we've had those clouds hang around for most of the day, it has been dry out there. And again, temperatures a little bit warmer. A high of 51 recorded here at Sioux City Airport. 50 degrees in Wayne for your high temperature. Recorded high of 45 in Yankton and Orange City, as well as Spencer and Storm Lake. 46 today in Lamar's and Cherokee, as well as Carroll. So again, a little bit warmer all throughout the area here today. Forecast lows tonight, they'll drop into the upper 30s, so a cool night ahead. Details on the rest of the week in the 9 on 9. Sophie?
All right, thanks, Marcus. Well, Sioux City, one of 28 Iowa communities set to receive a semi-truck full of food products. This is part of the USDA's Farmers to Families program. The Gospel Mission is coordinating the distribution of food to those in need. Each 25-pound box is filled with products from the local Midwest, along with producers that make bread, meat, milk, eggs, yogurt, and fruit. As many as 1,200 boxes could be available for distribution.
The organizations around Siouxland are seeing an increase in the need of a lot of services because of COVID. And, we've definitely seen a very consistent uptick in our food pantry throughout the past number of months.
Since its creation back in May of this year, the USDA program has successfully delivered more than 100 million boxes of food to underserved families. All eyes will be on the presidential debate Thursday, so less than 24 hours away now, as President Donald Trump and Democrat presidential nominee Joe Biden face off for the final time. KCAU 9 Washington correspondent Raquel Martin tonight reports.
No, serious. Dr. Fauci. You shut up, man.
What happened in the previous debate, unacceptable. American people deserve better.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say they hope the final presidential debate delivers more than just an argument.
I hope we will have a substantive debate.
This is the most important election of our lifetimes.
Iowa Democratic Congresswoman Cindy Axne says voters want a discussion focused on solutions.
It's always kitchen table issues for states like Iowa. It's putting money in people's pockets. It's addressing health care.
People are anxious. They are worried.
Michigan Democrat Debbie Dingell says after a failed plot to kidnap Michigan's governor, civility is more important than ever.
Dial down the temperature. Leaders need to help bring us together, not tear us apart.
In an effort to limit interruptions, the Commission on Presidential Debate says it will mute the mics during the first 2 minutes of each candidate's response.
I think you're going to see a whole different approach in this one. He's going to do very well.
Iowa Republican Chuck Grassley says he expects President Trump to be more focused.
Short sentences on 5 things that he's accomplished in his first 4 years.
Missouri Republican Josh Hawley, who calls the debate itself outdated.
Hasn't been changed in 60 years. It's crazy.
Just hopes moderators don't interfere.
Let the candidates actually debate. These debates have become more and more about the panelists or the moderators and less about discussing any substance.
Folks, absolutely agree.
In Washington, Raquel Martin, KCAU 9 News.
Well, Game 1 of the World Series officially in the books tonight. My Rays lost. And for Game 2, one baseball superfan will be in attendance. Why he didn't let the pandemic stop his tradition of watching live World Series action, coming up.
And it looks like we're going to have a wet Thursday ahead of us. Breezy and cooler conditions on the way, and a weekend snow chance as well. Details on all of that after the break.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and meteorologist Marcus Beasley. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
Well below average. We should typically see our high temperatures in the lower 60s. It does look like we'll warm up a bit by the middle to the end of next week, but still below average in the upper 40s and lower 50s.
We've been talking about soil temps being warm enough so that this snow doesn't stick on the ground, but if we keep having these high temperatures in the 30s and 40s, I see that changing quickly.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the snow staying around a while, but Sunday morning it could be a little slippery.
All right. Thanks a lot, Marcus. Well, October is not only about costumes and candy, but also about our four-legged companions. October is Adopt a Shelter Pet Month, and it's meant to bring awareness to dogs that are looking for loving homes. Every year, there's an estimated 3 to 4 million animals waiting in pet shelters. You can learn more about shelter dogs and the benefits of owning one on our website right now, SiouxlandProud.com. Just click on this digital exclusive story. It's the first feline in Pennsylvania to contract COVID-19. What experts tonight say about how this cat caught the virus coming up. But first, he has a long-lasting World Series streak. Despite COVID-19, he's found a way to attend Game 2. How he made it happen, coming up next. Welcome back. When Game 2 of the World Series begins, one superfan will be in attendance. He made sure it'll mark his 15th straight appearance in the stands of the World Series. Mike Sullivan tells us more about his World Series streak.
The World Series brings together the best of baseball and the best of America.
For those 4 to 7 nights.
You can't beat it.
Here it is! 2 things are true in baseball. 1, there's no crying. 2, Pete's seat.
I've always learned to expect the unexpected.
Always finds his seat at the World Series.
I first went to games 2 and 7 in 2001 when I was in college.
By 2006, he was living in D.C., deep in political work. He and a colleague escaped to the World Series in Detroit.
And at that point, kind of had the light bulb go off to say, hey, this is something I should do every year.
Only as a diehard Cubs fan, he thought.
My Cubs will likely never make it to the World Series.
Perhaps making it to 50 World Series games, that would suffice.
And by the 11th consecutive year, I finally did get to see the Cubs in the World Series.
His hobby became his streak.
Most of my career up to this point has been in politics and working on campaigns.
Yet the World Series often comes a couple days before elections.
So I've had to make a couple of clandestine trips over the years.
Fearing the World Series this year would be without fans. Pete's streak faced its greatest challenge.
I contacted the commissioner of Major League Baseball and asked him essentially for an excused absence.
While it was granted,
I'm grateful for the acknowledgement.
Fans will be allowed at the game, but with reduced capacity, tickets are scarce.
Well, it's a process that I've turned into an art form.
Utilizing multiple ticket lottery screens, several buyers.
As luck would have it, 4 minutes after they went on sale, I got through and I got tickets.
Lucky guy. Well, we know some animals can contract COVID-19. Officials tonight in Pennsylvania say there's a cat with the disease now. What the experts are saying about how it spread coming up. Veterinarian Dr. Kevin Brightbill has announced Pennsylvania's first confirmed case of COVID-19 in a cat. Let's take a look now at what the experts say about this case and how the virus was likely to spread.
Animal health and human health are intricately connected.
So connected that a 16-year-old cat living in Cumberland County tested positive for COVID-19 earlier this month after its family took it to the vet.
It was in respiratory distress and they had to euthanize it. So unfortunately, we don't have a final definite cause of death.
But before the news brings you pause,
there's no evidence to suggest that cats can spread COVID to humans.
In every cat case, there was one common factor.
In all of the other handful of cases across the country, it was an animal that had prolonged contact with people who had the virus.
Which means humans need to take care of their kittens, no kitten.
You want to treat your animal with care. If you know you're sick, if you've tested positive or you have symptoms, take care around your pets.
The warning signs are very similar to humans: cough, respiratory issues, and fatigue.
Don't spend a long time in prolonged contact with them. Wear a mask, maybe have someone else take care of them for a while and feed them.
Because our family needs the same care as our human companions.
Treat your cat like you would another member of your household. If you're sick, you don't want to spread what you have to your cat.
Makes you think. Well, taking a live look outside now. Marcus returns with another check on our forecast through the weekend. Coming up next. Stay with us. Again, temperatures more on the pleasant side tonight, but as we march towards the weekend, it seems we gradually deteriorate.
That's right. We are going to have wet weather tomorrow throughout Siouxland, so expect a rainy day here tomorrow all throughout the region. It looks like light rain showers throughout the day, so we're not going to see a lot of rain, but throughout the day, just kind of light, steady rain. And then as we head into tomorrow night, we're going to see those temperatures really drop. And then it looks like Friday, we're going to have a dry day, but temperatures in the lower to mid 40s. And then this weekend, there is a chance of snow Saturday night and into Sunday. So that is something we're going to be watching as the weekend gets closer. And you might want to prepare for maybe a little bit of accumulating snow. Not sure how much quite yet, but the possibility is there.
All right, thanks a lot, Marcus. And thank you for joining us. I'll see you back here at 6. Until then, have a great night.